Well, coming up as we approach the top 10 on my fantasy playlist, got Huey Lewis and the News, the Talking Heads, and Midnight Star. Yes! Go have them playing Boston. Wang Chung coming up and Bangles. Fantasy playlist November 29th, 1986. But at number 12 on my fantasy playlist, got as high as 54 on Billboard's Hot 100. But I was generous with this record because it was a jam and a half. Number 12 up from number 14. Crazy, crazy for you all the time. Jesse Johnson. And the thing about it was, at the time, the song sounded too, how should I put this? Too straight. It was too R&B. But listening to this song 30 years later, it's pop as hell. Perhaps it should have done a lot better than it did on Billboard's Hot 100, but no matter. What counts is how it did on my fantasy playlist. It's at number 12, the week of November 29th, 1986. Jesse Johnson, crazy, crazy for you all the time. Jesse Johnson, lead guitarist of the time. He was one of Prince's proteges, along with Morris Day of the time and Sheila E. But he broke away from Prince. Now, for me, the time was based in Minneapolis. This whole thing with Prince was based in Minneapolis back in the day, and I'm trying to assemble my thoughts, put all my thoughts together on this. Jesse Johnson co-wrote a couple of big hits for the time off their third album, Ice Cream Castles, and Morris Day's group. It was The Bird. The Bird was one of the most fantastic dance records that ever came out. It was a fun record because here's the thing about Morris Day. Morris Day of the time, this guy, he would go nuts. He'd flap like a bird sometimes when he was on stage. And I think he did that when he was in the Purple Rain movie, Prince's movie Purple Rain, and so was Jesse Johnson. And he also co-wrote, Jesse Johnson did Jungle Love, the biggest hits, Jungle Love, and then there was a time, and he also did. Oh God, does anybody remember Oak Tree by Morris Day? I just remembered that song. Anybody out there? Came out in 1986, I think. I got it on a fantasy playlist. Can't wait to get to that. Oak Tree by Morris Day. Gotta give that a listen to if you like those old jams from back in the day. But by the way, The Time by The Bird. It was either The Time or Jungle Love. It was The Bird. Bird, one of the best dance records, one of the most underappreciated dance records of all time. I'll just come out and say it. The Bird was actually, it was made by Prince. Prince played all the instruments on that record, except for Jesse Johnson. Jesse Johnson played a guitar on that record, but it was re-recorded when the band played that song live, and it became a hit by the time. Ice Cream Castles in the Summertime. That was a great record by the time. Boy, I remember that. 1984. Jesse Johnson, though, he went solo. He came out from under Prince's umbrella, and his manager got him a solo deal with A&M Records, and he released his first album. It was called The Jesse Johnson Review, and I Want to Be Your Man. Yes, that thick-ass beat, that boom, 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 particularly the 12-inch. Had that great mixing break where you mix out of it different songs. The guy threw down. Jesse Johnson had his game on. I'm going to tell you right now. And the song he did after that, Can You Help Me? I remember that. I believe that's a song I remember watching the video for back in the summer of 1985. And he had another hit. He had another song out, and I can't remember the name of it. But then he released another album. It was called Shockadelica, I believe was the name of the album, 1986. And then Crazy came off that album. He did that with Sly Stone. The song went to number 53 on Billboard's Hot 100. The pop stations would not play it. And went to number 2 on R&B. And I think that's it. Oh, one other thing about Jesse Johnson, I almost forgot to mention this. Jesse Johnson also, he produced some records by After 7. He worked with Paula Abdul and Janet Jackson, but he also produced, here comes another Lost 45 from the 80s. Does anybody remember? It was called Everybody Dance. The song Everybody Dance by Tom Mara and The Scene. It was late 85, early 86. My God, the memories these songs unleashed. Does anybody remember that record? It's a great dance record. Got a big beat to it. Kind of like Lover Girl by Tina Marie. That was produced by Jesse Johnson. That album was produced by Jesse Johnson. That Tom Morah and the Scene album. I just found that out about Jesse Johnson. God, Tom Morah and the Scene, Everybody Dance, that will be coming up on another fancy playlist, I'm sure, in the future. But right now, it's time to throw down. It's time to get busy. Jesse Johnson with Crazy at number 12 on my fancy playlist, November 29th, 1986.